Okay, welcome to the session on programming environments. Programming environments. We will discuss three environments here. One is turboc, other one online GDB, then these are the three environments. Okay, we should be able to install this on your own. Don't think you are still a child. Okay, probably you got accustomed to it. School, and also for you, most of you, intermediate is also something like a school only. Maybe worse than the school. Spoon feeding will be there. But as an engineer, you behave like a matured person and don't depend on your teacher for everything. Okay. So anyhow, we'll discuss these environments. If you want any of these, just go and type in the Google search or any search, Bing search or whatever it be. So go and search, download it, install it, and then proceed. Regarding the second one, online GDB, that is the online compiler actually. You need not download it. You just go to the website. I will just show you the URL, or again you can just type it in the Google search, find the appropriate link, go there, do programming. So first we will consider turboc. So I have already installed it. So you will get only turbo C++ actually. You don't get turbo C. That is not available. Okay. So this is the turboc environment. The turboc environment, whenever you open, you will get like this. So you will get a main menu, and then the area where you can type. Here you can see some of the requirements, some of the help which you can get, which you can make use of. The main things will be F2, use F2 key to save the programs. Okay, Alt F9 for compilation, Control F9, Control plus F9, that is actually Alt plus F9, Control plus F9, Control F9 for executing. Okay, these are the things that are required. Other things you can notice here. File, you can create a new file. You usually start by creating a new file. You can open an existing file. You can save your programs. So you can save with a different name if you have any problem. There are other things also, but we will be using only this quit. We are using only quit Alt X for sitting from the turboc environment. So cut, copy, etc. They will be available in edit and search. Maybe if you want to search. So usually we don't use these things. Compile, we will use compile for compilation of your program, and then run for executing your program. Other things also we don't use as a beginner, we don't use, but debugging, it helps you a lot whenever you are doing a serious programming using turboc. But we are not getting into the details this point of time. In fact, I don't teach you this environment, etc. You can find it the Google search. Download the manual and then read it. Project. If you want to do a project, you can make use of this option. And then setting the directories, etc. where you want to store the files, where are the include files, etc. So while installing, you just click next. Everything will be fine. Don't try to play with it. Don't try to play with it as a beginner. So you can do it later. You can do it later. And help sometimes you make use of. Help sometimes you make use of. You can go to the help. So whatever help you need about the C programming related things, you can go here. The libraries will be there. Libraries related help will be there. Contents will be there. And then you can search using the index also. Okay, that's better. Index. Go to the option of index and then search. Okay. So we'll start programming. Start programming. Hash include o.h. Hash include stdio.h. And this will vary from compiler to compiler. It because while recording, some of the things may not be visible properly because it displays with the different colors. Sometimes it will be an issue. Okay. So what program we are going to do? Just printf some message. So who are you? We'll just try to do it. Try to do a simple program. Hello, who are you? We are just printing the message. We are just printing the message. Okay, what you have to do now, or before you do also, if you want to create a new file, go to file and select new. So for going to the main menu, you can make use of mouse, or you can just press F10. F10. Try to use mouse to a minimum possible extent. Try to use mouse to a minimum possible extent. Okay. So now you have typed something, you want to save it, press F2. Press F2, it is saved. Press F2, it is saved because it is already open file, it is saved. It's already open file, it is saved. Okay. But if you are doing it for the first time, then what happens is whenever you press F2 or whenever you go here, one of the main problems with the turbo C. Always you get this warning message because it is not designed for the current Windows 10. It was for Windows XP. They know do not bother us too much. So whenever you try to save a file, because you already saved it, you are not. It is not asking again. Otherwise, so it has save as. You will get this type of window dialog box where you can type the name. Okay. So F2 for saving, and then just press Alt F9 for compilation. Let me press it. Alt F9. Okay. No errors. Warnings you can neglect. Should return a value. Warnings return a value. You can return it if you want, but warnings you need not bother too much. Next is Ctrl F9 for running it. Ctrl F9. So what is happening? So Ctrl F9. So it has executed actually. It has printed and it has printed, it has displayed for you, but you are not able to see it. You are not able to see it. So for that you have to use Alt F5. Alt F5 to see the output. Alt plus F5. Okay. Alt plus F5. Alt plus F5. the output. Want to see the output, you have to use Alt F5. There is other way, we'll see it. Okay. What is the other way, we will discuss. So these are the things. These are the things you have to type the programs, save the program, compile the program, execute the program. That's all. Okay. Other things you can play around. Other things you can play around. But the purpose here is not to get accustomed to turboc environment. You don't get anything by getting accustomed to turboc environment by playing with it. No more. Nothing will happen. So try to know the basics and proceed. You are doing learning C programming. So concentrate on only C programming. Concentrate on only C programming. So usually we get deviated. So everything, there are a lot of things to learn in everything. So you can't do everything. So we work at a level of abstraction. So our purpose is to learn C programming, concentrate on only C programming. The other things, try to know only about the basics. What is required for you? If you have any doubt, go to Google search for it, and then use it. That's all. Or if you have a tutor, you can ask him. That's all. Okay, this is okay. This is the program which we have typed. Okay, we will do another one. Here A, B, C. Teacher ABC. So scanf, or before it, we will try to generate a message asking the user to enter the values. Enter the values of A and B. Okay, A and B. Enter the values of A and B. Type it. Enter the values of A and B. Scanf. %D, %D. While typing the programs, while doing the programs, save it as often as possible. So between, try to press F2, and also you try to check the output or check the input which you have given, whether you are able to read it correctly or not. For this program, it is because it is simple, it may not be necessary, but what you have to do is, okay, you have read the values. Now I want to know whether they are correctly read or not. Printf values of A and B are the in this printf, you can type as you like. Only thing is %D where you want to print the values, but don't play with the scanf. But don't try to use /n etc. Within the scanf. There will be certain problems, logical errors we get, and it's difficult to identify them. Don't play with the scanf. Try to use as it is. Okay. Now we have already seen that there is a problem with seeing the output because it is not waiting for you. So for that you have pressed Alt F5. But what you can do is can include another header file called as conio.h. Then can include two files, clear screen. The other one is get. Now let us try it. Save it. Okay. Yes. Save it. So even without pressing Alt F9 also, you can press Ctrl F9. So it will automatically get compiled. So I'll press only Ctrl F9. Okay, enter the values of A and B. Press 10 space 1020 values I enter. Okay, it is reading correctly. The values of A and B are 10 and so that you try to check. Okay, maybe after that you can put these things in comments. Again, coming to comments, enclose anything in between this slash star and star slash. That will be a comment. That means that will not be having any effect on the execution of the program. That will not be having any effect on the execution of the program. Okay, so it provides only the information. Comment provides you only the information. It will not have any effect on the execution of the program. Comments make programs more readable. So that I have included only to include that one. But if you want, so this is here you can see the comment slash star at the end. You can see star slash. Okay, in that you can type. So you can also type something like program to add two numbers like that, and type to add two numbers. So that comments provide you only the information. Or otherwise you can remove them. Okay, now let us proceed with the program. C equal to A plus B. Have performed the addition of two numbers. So the value of sum of A and B. Just want to print the value of percentage D. Save it. 10, 20. Sum of A and B is 30. So it is executing correctly. So this is how you work the turboc environment. So you can go to this file, select new, and then this already saved. You are getting it, but usually you get the blank screen. Doesn't matter. So you can delete it. If you want, you can delete it and then type your own program and save it with a different name. So again, remember we work in this turbo C++ environment. Actually, you don't have separate turbo C environment. By default, it may be like this. So you can go and save the programs. So what you have to type is some file name .c, file.c, like that. Okay. So you can do like that. So go to file, select new, and then create a new file. That's all. So after that, use F2 for saving, Alt F9 for compilation, Ctrl F9 for executing. Try to include CLR, SCR and Getch. The other help which you can get here, let me check, is pressing Ctrl F1. So if you have any doubt, about these functions, the format, parameters, etc., go there, place the cursor and press Ctrl F1. Here it is getting this version. So you can press F1 and go there. You can go press F1 and go there and then search. Yes, sir. Such in some Turbo C environments, you get what is called as context sensitive help. Context sensitive help. That means you go to that function, place the cursor there, press Ctrl F1. It will directly take to the description of that function. So it seems it's not working here. Since it's not working here in this version, so you have different versions of Turbo C. So check with your tutor. Somebody is there, or otherwise it doesn't matter. Press go to help and then search for this CLR SCR. Okay, if context sensitive and help is available, that will be a lot of use. So this is what C program is, your Turbo C environment is. Okay, we'll stop here regarding the Turbo C. Again, I repeat. So you have to learn on your own these environments. Don't depend on your teacher or somebody else. Okay, you have to learn on your own. Play with it. That's all. It's something like a game. Play with it. Play with it for some time and try to know the basics. That's all. Okay. We'll exit from here. Press what I have to press? Alt X. Okay. I press Alt followed by X. Save it if you want. If we have modified. Okay, next we'll go to online GDB. For that, you have to go to browser. You have to go to browser, and then you can go to Google if you want. Okay, online GDB. There are a number of compilers. You can, if you want, you can just type online compiler also. Compiler C. So, but we are going with the online GDB. Not mandatory. Can go with anything. So this is the URL. You can go in the type in the this address bar directly, or otherwise you can search in the Google and then go there. So we'll get this environment. Here also same thing. Already pre-typed program is there. Pre-typed programming is there. So you can try to run it. So it is quite obvious. Run it. So it is asking you to select C. So select C here. So here you can see number of languages are supported by online GDB, including the latest Swift. Swift has also a lot of value nowadays. Swift, Haskell, then R, data science, with PHP for websites, Python, general purpose language. Okay, so you can select Turbo C or C. Again, search box. Let us select Turbo C and run it. Here you can see hello world. I selected only C, hello world, because we already know this Turbo C environment. Let's not again get into it. So we have typed something and then we executed it. So that is what you need to know in the online GDB. There are other options also. You can save your programs to Google Drive, Facebook, etc. Okay, that you can do. But I recommend you to just copy the program, go to the notepad or any word processor, copy it, paste it. So we have not copied it. copied it, go there, then paste it, then save it. Save into your drive. Save into your drive. That's what you can do. Save your into your hard disk actually. So that's what you have to do. So you need not bother about this environment, how to save to the Google Drive, Facebook, what happens, uploading, etc. Okay. So save the programs to your hard disk. Even if it is a mobile phone, save to your uh, mobile only. Okay. Let's try something else here. Let's try something else here. Okay, instead of, see, remember here it requires integer main and return 0. These are mandatory. These are mandatory. Okay. Let's try to do something else. Let's try to exchange two numbers. Integer a comma b, two numbers. Okay. Now what I can do? Maybe I will read the values. Printf is not mandatory here. Get the values of a and b. Scanf. After that, print the values of a and b. What is happening? Values of a and b are let's run it. Here the values 10, say 20, 10, 20. Values of a and b are 10 and 20. They are read correctly. Now let us try to exchange. So will it work? Will it work? Okay. I try to exchange the values of a and b. A equal to b, b equal to a. So after exchange, I again print the values. Values of a and b are run again. So it is showing some error. What is the error? The expected expression before this parenthesis. Okay, is that can you identify for this point it is showing the error. So we have typed 1 comma extra. So always depend on the compiler. It will generate appropriate error messages. Sometimes we overlook it. So compiler is written by highly intelligent people. So appropriate messages will be generated. Okay. So if you follow the compiler, you will be able to correct 90% of the errors. So again, I will enter 10 and 20. So what is happening? The values of a and b are 10 and 20. Okay. After that, exchanged. The values of a and b are 20, 20. No, they are not exchanged. Why? Why? What is happening? Why? What is happening? This point you have to understand. Why they are not exchanged? Usually, whenever you want to exchange, you will write a equal to b, b equal to a. That's all. But here it is not working. Why? So let me try to show it. Okay. Hope you can see it. So what happens is whenever you try to store them within the memory, they will be stored like this. So let us say this is A. So let us say this is A, and let us say this is B. Let us say this is B. This is B. So whenever you read, the values of A and B are this here 10 will be stored, and here 20 will be stored. So when this is how memory works. So whenever you write A equal to B, whatever there is in B, that will be copied into Ath location. 20 is there. So now instead of this 10, it will get replaced. It will get replaced, and it will become 20. It will become 20. Okay. A equal to B. A gets the value of B, which is 20. So now B equal to A. Now B equal to A, that means these contents will be overwritten with A content. Now what is the A content at present? It is 20. So it will be overwritten, okay, but it will be 20 only. So that's why you are getting the values of A and B are 20, 20. So this is how computer works. This is how computer works. This is how memory works. Now what is the solution? What is the solution? Okay. So the solution is, don't do like this, but use some temporary variable, say I will call it as say temp. So use some temporary variable. Write temp equal to A. That means the value of A, that is the original value of A, I am storing it in temp. Temp equal to A, and then A equal to B, and then B equal to temp. Why I am doing like this? So original value of A, I am storing it. Original value of A, I am storing it in temp, and then A gets the value of B, overwritten. Okay, fine. Now B should get the original value of A, not the present value. Original value of A, where it is stored, it is in temp. That's why we are writing B equal to temp. Now let's check. Will it work? Values of A and B are 10 and so here you can see the values of A and B are 10 and 20. So after again I am printing it, the value after exchange. So the values of A and B are 20, 30, 20, 10. So it's working. So we had to use temporary variable. So I hope you understood that memory concept. So this is regarding the online GDB. So if you are using only mobile phone, if you don't have any sources, then you can use online GDB. In the theory part, I mentioned some apps also. You can use those apps also. But apps means they will occupy some space. So careful. So don't say I have only mobile phone. Don't say that I am in rural area. All these are just excuses. Excuses will not, they will not work for your advantage. So try to find some source. So mobile phone also you can do wonders. Okay, this is regarding online GDP. Regarding online GDP. Okay, the next one is gueny. Gueny. Okay. Process is like this. So you have to do these things. Download the compiler and install it. After that, you can install this IDE. Gueny. Again, it supports multiple languages. According to the information I have, it's better to go with the gueny. So this is the procedure which you have to follow. So first install that compiler and then install this gueny. Okay. Already install it. We'll go there directly. Then you can type the same program. Then there may be minor variation. I think it takes then 0 is required at the end. That skeleton, please try to note down and then use it as it is. Look at the type it. Go to build. Go there and try to save. Create a folder and then save it. Create a folder and save it. For the time being, I just type x1.c. Okay. Try to create a folder and try to save the programs in that folder. So you select this build always. Compilation. Okay, try to build it. After building, we'll get compilation finished successfully. Wait for that message. Wait for that message. So after that, you can execute it. You can see message is printed. Abracadabra is printed. Abracadabra is printed. So it's not about the programming environment. There are many advanced programming environments. Okay. So that you don't bother about the programming environment. Always try to just make use of the programming environment, whatever is available to you, and try to do good programs. So it is the programs which decide. It's not the programming environment. Okay. So as a beginner, your purpose is to learn problem solving. So while learning problem solving, don't get too much into the details of the programming environments. Later years, when you are learning other languages, or maybe after 1 month, 1.5 months, you can concentrate on these programming environments, learn more about it, how to effectively use it. But initial stages, just try to know the basics of the programming environments and then proceed. So I'm not getting into the other details. This is what you have to do. Similarly, you have this file, new, you can open the existing files, you can save the programs, you can edit them, you can view, you can change the font, etc., etc. if you want, but don't do at this point of time. Build, instead of compile, you please select build. Compilation will only result in creation of .obj file. Build will create this, will do you the tasks of linker, loader, etc. So always use build and then good. Build and then execute. If you have errors, you have to correct them. If you have errors, you can correct them. If you want, we can play with this one for some time. So I have included /n. So what is happening? If I included /n, what is happening? Let me execute. So you can see it. Now probably type something else. I'll build and execute. So here you can see your name is printed on the next line. Abracadabra, your name is printed on the next line. So if I remove this one, what happens? So here you can see not going to the next line. So your name is not printed on the next line. Your name is printed on the same line. Your name is printed on the same line. So /n will take the control to the next line. Take the control to the next line. Okay. So just remove semicolon. Let me check what happens. Compilation failed. You are getting the message compilation failed. Here you can go here and check. So expected semicolon. It is showing clearly. It is showing the line with the red, and it is also indicating to you that you are expected to give the semicolon. So that's why I asked you, always follow the compiler messages. So you can try something else. You can do it. What is the message I am going to get? It work correctly or not? Okay, I'm just trying to read the value. What is the message I am going to get? Can you guess? So undeclared A. So whenever you use any variable, you should declare it. Otherwise, you will get error message. So undeclared A means A is not declared, because A is an integer according to you. Declare it as integer. Then our compilation finish it successfully. Now I just forget to place ampersand. Let me check what happens. What is the message I am getting? Expects argument of type integer star, but argument 2 has type integer. Now what is this argument? So arguments are nothing but what you are passing within the parentheses. Separated, comma separated values are called as arguments. Now first argument is this one, %d. Second argument is the A. Okay. Now what it is saying? Should be of type integer star, but it is of type integer. So you are supplying the value of it, but you have to supply the address of it. That is the meaning of integer star. And if the star has something to do with the pointers, that's how the C internally works. certainly works. So integer star means here you are respecting the address. You are respecting the address. Let me experiment with this one also. Some compilers just do it and then print the value of A and check what happens. Why it is not immediately printing? So what is happening? So in some compilers you will get logical errors. Okay, you have to enter the value of 10. Why it is not immediately printing it? Only after reading something else is printing. That's the problem with the scanf. Can't guess the type of errors associated with the scanf. So don't play with the scanf. Don't play with the scanf. Try again. It is immediately printed. So don't play with the scanf. Don't play with the scanf. I think that's enough for you regarding gueny. So concentrate initially on C programming, learn C programming. After that, you can proceed. So that you can proceed with learning more about the environments, doing the projects, etc. So we'll stop here. Best of luck. Best of luck. You can type some programs. You can type some programs. But remember, whatever you are typing from the book, they are not your programs. They are not your programs. Okay. From the next module onwards, we will learn some serious programming. Okay, thank you very much for joining.